Hello, Namaste. My name is Ranjana and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll run through a couple of yoga poses. I won't make the video too long, short, but the poses that will help you to work on balancing your practice. So, um, of course, you cannot get completely balanced. It is almost impossible to stay completely balanced all the time. But the process of balancing your poses, like continuing to work towards balancing your poses, will help you to get your life into a balancing act as well. To acknowledge that life cannot be completely balanced, but you can work towards balancing them as you go along. Yeah. Things to remember while you're working towards your balance is first your focus, your eye point, your stare point. Yeah, the drishti we call it in Sanskrit. So we keep our focus at a point in front of us that is not moving and try to keep it as stable as possible. So the drishti is important. Second is we maintain the drishti because the vestibular system works with the eyeballs. So the more we tend to move our eyes, the more the vestibular system gets in an imbalance, which will help us, which will not help us get into a balance. Second, the eyeballs. Yeah. Third is the midline of the body, obviously. So your center of gravity towards the right and the left, recognizing the midline of the body will help us get our balance. It is important to work with our strength, our core to maintain the balance, but not just the strength. The strength will be important to help us balance because we are normally going to be on one leg to do any balancing act. So we need our strength, of course, to balance. But the midline, as we're recognizing it, will help us to maintain the balancing act between the right and the left side of the body. Yeah. So we're going to do a couple of postures, and you can run it through me, with me, as we go along. Okay. The first pose, and which is globally very well known as a balancing pose, is the Vrikshasana. Vrikshasana is a tree pose and translated into Sanskrit as Vrikshasana. We begin in this way. So the toe and the knee pointing in the same direction, your hips square, your shoulders on top of the hips in the same position, hands on the hips, hip joint, and holding this position. We already have started to get a little off balance because our both feet are not on the ground that we're normally used to. So this is the beginning of Vrikshasana. You can hold this position if you're balancing, or if you think you can get better than this, move into the shin. Again, the knee pointing out to the side and gently placing your heel on your shin. This is the second one. Then you move a little bit further. People say you shouldn't place your heel on your knee. I quite disagree because of course it's a hinge joint, the knee joint, but we're not really pushing it against the knee all the time. So you do it once in a while you're not putting in too much effort too much weight onto the knee. It is perfectly fine to help you practice with your balance. Your knee still pushing to the back, gently place the heel on the knee is perfectly fine. Then you come to the final one where you place your heel in your inner thigh, keep pushing the knee to the back, squaring your hips, your shoulders over your hips, and your tree branches spreading out. So this is the final one. And of course, more challenging than that, if you want to get, is to close your eyes. So that is pretty difficult to maintain the pose with your eyes closed. I would think that is the most advanced form of balancing pose. So you can practice that with your eyes closed, or you can even actually go into a bend, side bend, to help you balance. Just challenge yourself and go into a little bit of an incline, pushing your hips to the side, arms out. Yeah, whatever feels good for you. So that was Vrikshasana basically. So try and see how you go with it. The pose after that, the second one is Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. The beginners can begin with their feet to the back, chest out, hips slightly pushed forward. Your hands can still stay on the waist, but your elbows go pushed back and you maintain this balance here. Okay, this can be the beginners of Vrikshasana pose. And as you progress, you're going to start to lower your chest down, hinge from your hips. But as you lower the chest, you have to start lifting your leg up. Remember, if your toes are strongly pointed to the back, if they're active, it helps you further in your balance. If your toes are pointing downwards, it's slightly difficult because your hips tend to close as well. So pointing the toes to the back strengthens the leg even further. If it is a little challenging, you can have a slight bend on your left knee as well. That helps further. This is Virabhadrasana 3. And to get into the most difficult version is to extend your elbow. You can extend the arms to the two sides to help you aeroplane balance. And if you want to challenge yourself, is to extend your arms out in front of you and look up. But make sure your leg is parallel to the ground as is your torso and your head. So you're in a straight Virabhadrasana 3 position here. And coming out of it is important because you don't swing it fast. You're gently being aware of the strength you're using and coming out of it. Yeah, that was the second. Work on both sides, of course, to maintain the equilibrium. Third pose is the half moon pose. I love this pose because when you're doing the Virabhadrasana, you're actually not opening up your hips. But on this one, half moon, you open your hips. To begin with, we use a block. Then eventually, we can lower our hands down and get on with it. Yeah. So your heel about a foot away from your toes, and about 5 to 6 inches to the right is the perfect place to keep the block. And again, you can place them in any height you want. If you're more confident this way or this height or further this height, whatever feels good for you. But as a beginner, I'm putting this up this way. And then you get started. Hands on your waist, lift the leg up and then open your hips up. So your hips are stacked on top of each other. Your arm, your left arm going up. And then shift your gaze slowly to the front. And once you maintain the stability, take the arm up. And of course, for this, lifting your gaze up to the thumb. And the most difficult, closing your eyes in the pose. You can try doing that as well. Or going into a kick into the hands. So that gets a little intense as well. So wherever you are at, you slowly progress. Again, remembering the drishti, keeping your focus, or choosing to close your eyes, whatever you feel good at. But this is another good position. Okay, and then you can slowly progress to keep your arm down. But make sure you're noticing your hips stacking on top of each other, opening up the hips. And then very slowly coming out of it. Which else? We can do one more, Garudasana. Your heels together. So we work on both the legs, okay? So we take the leg around the other. You can even, beginners can place the heel down, push the hip back and lower the hip. Or if you feel flexible and open enough, wind it, push the hip back. When you look down, you have to see the tips of your toes. And then get the arm around, lift the elbow in front of your face and hold the position again. Again, challenging your balance. It depends on the state of your mind. That's why early morning is the best time to work on balancing poses because your mind is not contaminated. That was Garudasana. Uh, for now, 4 poses. I hope it helps you. Give it a try. Notice your eye, how it wags. The more your eyeballs move, the more difficult it is for you to balance. Challenge your left and the right side, and by the end of the practice, you will be able to know your body a little bit better, to know which side feels more balanced than the other. I hope you had a good practice, enjoyed the class, and I hope we'll see you again soon. Thank you.